here's what I think. I don't think anybody wakes up in the morning and says, boy, today would be a great day to jerk around my company. That happened? I don't think so. But could someone wake up in the morning and say, man, you know, it's awful lonely around here. I sure hope I can get this new person in the office to go out with me, even though I know they really don't want to. Could that be a foundation for a pretty serious ethics problem? Absolutely. Could someone wake up in the morning and say, there's not a lot of money in that account. I better figure out some way to make sure I've got a little more margin at the end of the month. Could that be the foundation for an ethics problem? Absolutely. Do either of those or any other example you can think of have the least bit of anything to do with work? They just don't. It's non-work stuff that we bring in with us to work and try and deal with it in an inappropriate way on the job. And the fact is this, we hate being honest unless it's good news. It's true. Show of hands, how many people here tell little white lies? What a bunch of liars. Oh, okay, there's a few of you, your hands are going up. We all tell them sometime. I do. I hate it that I do. But I tell them. Now, thankfully, with a few decades worth of practice, I can catch myself doing it, go back to that person and say, you know, I know that I told you A and what I really needed to tell you was B. But the fact is it's something that we do because it's just uncomfortable, to be honest. So instead, what we do is we don't quite tell the truth, right? Or we don't tell the truth at all. And we say we're just being nice, diplomatic. Isn't that right? Well, let me remind you all of something. Diplomacy is not a code word for lying. Right? Diplomacy is the art of telling somebody something that they probably don't want to hear in a way that increases the likelihood that they are going to hear it in the way that you mean it and in the spirit in which you intend it. But we don't. We try and be, nice. We be diplomatic. Here's my favorite example. How many people in the last 5 years have heard or said yes in response to the question, honey, do these clothes make me look fat? It doesn't happen, right? And that's not something that's going to rock our world. So if it's hard for us to say that, how in the world are we going to screw up the courage to say something that really could rock our world? Confronting someone about something that just isn't right in our business or their business, that's tough to do. It does matter how we say things. As an example of this, now this is going to sound like I'm getting off topic for a moment, but I promise there's a point to this story. I lived for about 10 years at the far eastern edge of the Alaskan tundra. It's a place called Rochester, New York. I don't know if any of you are familiar with it. And Rochester, New York has unbelievably great barbecue. Anybody here love barbecue besides me? Well, okay, good. I feel right at home then. Well, Rochester has terrific barbecue. And a lot of the best barbecue places are these little mom and dad shops. They're in somebody's garage or they're back in the alleyway, back behind some other place. And I used to drive past this one mom and pop fish fry place, and they had one of those portable neon signs. You've all seen them. They've got the wheels in back, and they've got the the flashing arrows, and this one's flashing around to the alleyway back behind. And for about 2 months, this sign proudly proclaimed, "Hot fish to go in rear." Now, it's 25 years later, and that still makes me incredibly uncomfortable. So we've got to watch how you say things. Anyway.